Let's get down to it, everybody. We have the 2029. How is that not a year like 20 years from now anymore? Dude, so, I swear. I went to the store today, had to buy my wife some cold medicine because, she, again, is a school teacher, so she's around little germ monsters all day. And I was at a self-checkout, so it got flagged and whatever, and the person had to come over. And I looked on the screen, and it's like, confirmed this person was born before, 2007, and I'm like, oh my God. That was the first time it really registered that, oh yeah, people who are turning 18 this year were born in 2007. And I died a little bit more inside. 2029. Tookie fell to his knees in the Walmart. I did. The 2029 MLB draft. All right. So here we go. Top of the board for us is apparently shortstop Colby Fields. I gotta be honest, I'm not sold. As a defensive player, yes. Oh, Davos, it's terrible, isn't it? As a defensive player, very solid. I don't know if he has the arm strength to be an elite shortstop or third baseman, but he certainly is guaranteed to be an elite second baseman or even an outfielder. He's worth drafting, but there's no way he's my top target. Steven Dixon. I am, there's a lot of ways to describe it, as I almost dropped my damn controller. I think the proper description is I am a slut for velocity. So Steven Dixon looks like an unbelievable starting pitcher to me. Especially with the high strikeouts per 9. He is all or nothing. Either you are not catching that fastball, or if you do, it's going over the fence. He's perfect. And I certainly like him more than Colby Fields. Casey Pappas. Casey might be even better. He's more well-rounded with the control and the per 9s. I mean, certainly worth considering. There's Enrique Cervantes in left. And in terms of a potential power bat, as a fielder, probably a corner outfielder, and he is already a left fielder. Yeah, guaranteed B potential from what our scouts say. I mean, we certainly have to consider him. Then there was Boris Walker. Again, for Boris, he's not bad from what we know. There's just other pitchers I like more. I honestly probably should have scouted him out more thoroughly. Prerequisite to be drafted to this team is you must be okay with getting Tommy John surgery. Correct. Correct, sir. Boris is interesting if he's still there at 10. Alden Karnitz in center. I don't know about 10th. If he's the last one left, maybe. I don't know about 10th overall, though. Junior Vega Ramos. I like what I see there with Mr. Vega Ramos. No doubt. Four-seam curveball slider splitter. Okay. Doesn't have the best pitch break, but that's all right. Diego Cortez. Again, well established what I think of a player who has a velocity in the 90s. Sinker, changeup. Really? He doesn't even have a four-seamer. Sinker, changeup, curveball. With that velocity? That's going to be the most lethal sinker of all time. Certainly interested. Only 3 pitches for a starter, though. We didn't look at Raul Miea, Ricky Barrett. What about Chester Jacobson? Yeah, I don't know how I feel about Mr. Jacobson. If the contact might be... Yeah, I'm not feeling that for Chester. We'll add him to the list for the moment. That second baseman, Tim Wilson. Only 50% scouted. There is injury concerns. But what is there is promising if he is actually towards the high end. If he's still there at 10, he's at least in the conversation. Felipe Correa. Another outstanding defensive fielder. Only 55% scouted, though. Another risk, but we might be in a situation at 10 where we have to take a risk. Amos Zimborski. Nah. Meg, what's going on? They need to add develop pitch to frame. I totally agree. Totally agree. Also, I know like the NHL games implementation of it isn't everyone's favorite. I would like a system where you can tell somebody, hey, we want to move you to third base, and they can say yes or no. That way, it doesn't feel so cheesy when you move someone from like second base to third. But as we discussed yesterday, for those that were here, if Joey Gallo can just decide, hey, I'm a pitcher now, then, I mean, is it even cheating? You know, is it even? I don't like Zimborski. Francisco Torrero. Oh, wow. Not a single blue for the pitching stats, huh? I don't think we're going for you. Clyde Albus, Tyler Naquin. I mean, you know, the example I always think of is like Rick Ankiel did the opposite, right? Went from a pitcher to an outfielder. So, let's see. Damian Nash, that one first baseman that we looked at. You know, potentially a promising hitter. He is super boomer bust, though. Super boomer bust, so there's no way. I'm rooting for Joey Gallo, by the way. I like Joey Gallo as a player. Dude, I got to be honest. I still love, you know, players, particularly corner outfielders or first basemen, because, you know, again, like when I played baseball growing up, that's what I played. All or nothing. If they hit the ball, it's going to the next county. But if they don't hit the ball, they're going to look very dumb as they strike out. Those are still my favorite type of players to watch. I don't care. You know, it's like back in the day with the Mariners, you watch the Mariners for Ichiro, but you stay to watch Richie Sexton hit a dinger. That's what it was. Wayne Clay. Another boomer bust guy here. Jordan, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome in. And he could be a good power hitter. He could have some pretty solid arm strength. David Koufax, we didn't know enough about. What about Mike Dwyer, that second baseman? Another toss-up. Only 55% scouted. But if he is on the high end of what he looks like, he could be fantastic. We only have a couple more here that I wanted to look at. Dominic Vega. Wow. No thank you. Even if you are decently enough defensively, you cannot hit a baseball. Wow. Jose Domingo. He's not a first-round pick. I mean, 73 to 86 potential. We have to aim higher than that. Not a first-round pick for us. Dave Richter, also not a first-round pick for us, nor is Eugene Whitley, the projected number 1 pick. We fell for that last year. Not falling for it again. Okay, I think we have our guys that are in contention here. We do. So, quite a few guys on the list, but again, we have the 10th overall pick. We'll see who's left to pick from. Let's do it. Maybe fall for it one more time just for the culture. Rich, I might. Oh, goodness. So it's the White Sox, Phillies, and Angels with the top 3. A very bizarre top 3. Let's see what happens. Rich, I'm glad you're here. First overall pick. Chicago takes the left fielder, Enrique Cervantes. Kind of somebody that I wanted. Crash with the gifted sub to Rich as well. Crashy, thank you. I'm not surprised Cervantes didn't fall to us, but I am still disappointed. The second overall pick is Jesus Ruiz to Philadelphia. Projected 7th in the draft. Our scouts had him at 68, and the Phillies took him 2nd as he hit the Rob Van Dam there. We'll see. We'll see how good he is. Time will tell. And then 3rd overall, we have Junior Vega Ramos, who was on our list. He is off to the Angels. It's projected 14th and goes 3rd overall. One Junior Vega Ramos. If Steven Dixon or Casey Papas fall to us at 10, I'll be so happy. I'd be so happy. Colorado at 4 takes center fielder Dave Richter. If our scouts are right about him, Colorado just blew it. San Diego at 5. Chester Jacobson. Left fielder, who again I was interested in, but we weren't going to take this high. Washington at 6, Boris Walker. Okay, I'm good with that too. Tampa at 7, Alden Karnitz. Oh, we're so close now. We're so close to getting one of those 2 starters. Milwaukee at 8. Eugene Whitley. We will be getting one of those starters. Let's go. Awesome. As Milwaukee apparently fell for it. Houston takes starting pitcher Diego Cortez. Meaning Dixon and Papas are both still there. That's awesome. So again, Mike Dwyer, too big of a risk at 55% scouted to take him right now. Wayne Clay, same thing. Too big of a risk. You could argue now is the time to risk it for where we are, but we have more, sure things here. Felipe Correa and right, too big of a risk. Does look good defensively, but not going to happen. Tim Wilson, too big of a risk. But then there was Colby Fields. 85% scouted. He's just too weak at the plate. It comes down to one of the pitchers. The 18-year-old Casey Papas. 76 to 94 potential. What does he have for pitches? A 4-seam, a curve, and a cutter. Okay. Or Steven Dixon. 4-seam, cutter, sinker, slider, changeup. 6'4", 240. It's got to be Steven Dixon, right? It's got to be. Like, one of these position players might be a little bit more reliable, but it's tough. Kana, what's going on? Some shouts for Papas, which I understand because some of the per nines look to be a little bit more steady and reliable. Pax coming in with the raid. Thank you very much for that. How'd the stream go? Hope it went well. Imagine you were on the NHL side of things. What were you up to tonight? Papas has a faster 4-seam. 94 to 99. They both had the same. Damn. Celebrating Irish Christmas. Smelly with the 5 gifted.
Taste the goodness of the biscuit.
Well, now who does Smelly think we should draft? That's the question.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the
Smelly,
biscuit.
thank you very much for the 5 gifted, though. Very, very much appreciated. We got a minute and 24.
Taste the goodness of the biscuit.
And Clay is the interesting one because of the potential power
Taste the
that he
biscuit.
has.
Taste the goodness of the biscuit.
Papas isn't bad. just don't know if I can trust Clay.
Taste the biscuit.
I don't know.
Taste the goodness of the biscuit.
What better time than during the raid? There you go. If I don't take Wayne Clay and he's great, I'm going to be mad. A 5'8" power hitter. We're going for Steven Dixon. It's got to be. I might be wrong. And if I'm wrong, so be it. But man, you get a chance to draft a guy like that. You just have to. You got to do it. And we'll see if it works out or not. I don't know if it will. We'll go through this quickly as well now because I will still go back and double check the draft for everybody. Let's see. Our next pick. Yeah, nobody's left. But yeah, you had Tim Wilson go to Baltimore. Casey Pappas didn't go until pick number 22. But again, we'll see where everybody landed shortly. So, second round, Francisco Torrero. Jack of all trades, master of none. Dominic Vega is still there, but again, he looks... I mean, he's defensively responsible, you know? Jay Cunningham as a starter. Might not be bad. There is the closer, Paul Lopez, but I think we have safer bets. Definitely not going for Cecil Nash. Who else do we have info on here? Cody Bush, no. Ryan Villa, no thank you. Anybody else with a decent amount of scouting? Rodrigo Ordonez, we can aim higher than that. Jason Leach is apparently terrible. I mean, there's definitely some players to take a risk on. It's just whether or not now is the right time to do that. Or we go for one of those three. So, I mean, again, there was Paul Lopez as the closer. We don't know a damn thing about him and if that stuff can even be trusted, but he is there. Random second baseman, Saul Kretlow. Oh, we can draft for need or we can just go off of what's here. Torrero, I really don't like the looks of him, but that potential is interesting. Vega does look very solid defensively, but offensively, he looks horrific. And then there was Cunningham as a starter, who, I mean, has some things going for him, but I'm not really sold on anybody of that group. Not really sold on anybody in that group. There's not like the undeniable, oh my God, this guy. Could just opt out for Paul Lopez because closers are typically decent. Or again, you go more towards like a position of need. Center fielder Del Potter. I mean, none of these guys are up around a 90 except for like Kevin Ramirez, who we could get later. What about in right? Mark Lucas. We don't know much about him. He looks terrible. Shane Vogelsang. Beckett Whiteley. Don't know much about him, though. Christian Mock. Yeah, I mean, it looks like we'll be able to take a risk on some other players later on. We're going to go for Torrero, just hoping that he is at least a B potential. And, yeah, we'll start going for some, you know, darts later on. Just hope that we get lucky. Our next pick is number 62. In which case, Vogelsang is still there. Do I buy the ugly Ohtani skin in Fortnite? Yes, you do. You very much do. Richie Stew. What a name. Let's see, so I only want guys that have a solid chance. Like Jesus Lima, very slim chance of being a 90. Of course, we're only looking at first baseman right now. So Beckett Whiteley, could go for him. Not worried about DeAndre Rodriguez. Not worried about Reyna. Jorge Perez. Gary Gregory. And there was Bradley Mock. 10% scouted, but what's there isn't bad. But do we need a closer, you know? After taking 2 starters in a row? Do we need a closer? Reliever Tony Reyes. Reliever John Johnson. Vance Quinones. Dude, there's a ton of relievers here. Mackenzie Nathan. It's like all relievers at this point. Damon Nix. What the hell? Second baseman JJ Saccone. Keenan Ewing. Samurai or normal? Normal, because then it's just literally a baseball player, which is very funny. Like Samurai is like too cool at that point. Let's see, Mark Lucas and right. We already had Vogelsang. Another reliever. First player in the world to get the sutures. Any chance you can repost my tweet on Twitter? I'll repost it. Then why the hell do you need me? I already got Mills to do it. Okay. Hey, I just got this burger from Gordon Ramsay's restaurant, but I'm going to go down to Taco Bell and ask for a burger as well. It's like, number one, sir, you're in the wrong place in a variety of aspects. Henry Perez in third. Jeff Ordonez at third. Dudley Yamazaki. That's incredible. That's incredible. All right. Well, we are in best guess territory here. Taco Bell burger, right? Perez could be insane from a fielding perspective. Taco Bell would probably make a bomb burger. You're not wrong. Bradley Mock, man, that guy looks good. JJ Saccone, we don't know a ton about. Mark Lucas. Jacob Lucas. Then there was Christian Mock. Henry Perez. Jeff Ordonez. Yeah, I mean, we are just in best guess territory here. There's no one I'm heavily sold on here. Well, I think we'll just trust the scout's perspective at this point. Beckett Whiteley. We'll take the left fielder. See if we can move him to the middle. But, yeah, there's just not much we're going to be able to do here at this point. Got Nick's projected number 85. But we do need an infielder. Is it difficult to scout in this game? It can be. It depends on your approach. Like, there are some people that have it tuned to, like, the fine science of the best way to scout. I just like doing different things per season. We're going to take JJ Saccone here, by the way. I just like trying different things, but it can be difficult to get information on everybody, you know? Like, more often than not, you kind of have to take the approach of, like, okay, we're going to know a lot about this select group of positions and then not much else about others, right? That's why, like, Richard Head, you know, we call him the master of missionary around here, because you put him somewhere else and he's not going to have a clue what's going on, right? So, JJ Saccone, you are the guy. We'll hope for the best. Let's see. Richie Stew. Let's see, we got a starting pitcher, a reliever, and a third baseman. I need an infielder more, so Henry Perez, come on down. It's where we just throw darts at the board and see if we hit. Jackson Kern is still available, so let's see. We have a minute. You got a minute to win it. Benji Lyon, Dawkins, anybody else looking overly promising? Not necessarily. David Coe. Jason Murphy. Kana, you did not buy me that skin as well. Please don't tell me you bought me the Ohtani skin. You didn't have to, and you shouldn't have. All right, it's just a lot of relievers at this point. Yeah, it's like all pitchers. Okay. Jackson Kern, come on down. Why not? See if our scouts are right about who they like. And that's it. It's either Jason Murphy or Paul Phillips. Our scouts like Jason Murphy more. There you go. I had over 8K bucks and nothing to spend them on. Fair enough. Fair enough. So, yeah, we'll see how that draft pans out. It'll be a bit before we know the full results because, again, the trade deadline coming up is bound to be busy. As Spencer Torkelson has been traded to the Pirates from Texas for Connor Griffin and Xander Muth. Muth? Muth. Punched him right in the mouth. Hear me out. Al Davis style MLB team can only bring in players with speed. Not a bad idea, Napster. It's not. It's really not. Especially if we do a draft to glory style. Not bad at all. Congrats to Cosmic for the decent poll there. Oh, man. Home Run Derby we're not going to worry about. But we will take a look at the All-Stars this year. Let's see what we got here. So for the National League, Blake Snell ends up being the starter over Paul Skeens. We did not have a pitcher representing us at the top. No surprise there. Actually, in fairness, we don't even want the voting. We just want to know who is there. Like a Cosmic pack and stuff. Napster, honestly, though, not a bad idea. I mean, in terms of like those draft to glory style builds, we haven't necessarily gotten into player type. We've done a lot of where somebody's from. The show bros. Oh, Crash, that's how you guarantee we play more Fortnite in the future, isn't it? So yeah, Blake Snell is the starter. Josh Hader has made the All-Star game for us. God, seeing Acuna and Henderson, who were both free agents up there, is rough. Jose Ramirez was also a free agent. Did we have anybody else? Luis Garcia. How are you an All-Star when you're declining that much? Look at Cosmic packing everything. Crushing it. So, a couple of All-Stars for us, but nothing too crazy as per usual. But, all right, and another trade. Jeez, I'll just stay over here, I guess. Alexis Alonso on his way to the Rockies. Damn, 21A and a 77 overall already for their third-round pick in 2025. Alexis Alonso for Walt Todd. Jesus. And Brenton Doyle. Wow. I didn't even notice Brenton Doyle. Wow, that's, 21A and a 77 for 22A and a 75 and Brenton Doyle. They must have really wanted that upgrade in the outfield because holy, did the Rockies give up a lot to get that guy. A lot. All right. In terms of signing the picks, let's take a look at who we have here. We are going to have to work on most of these guys. Francisco Torrero is signed, though. And, yeah, we'll just have to work here. Go back to the Rockies. Need that guy. Oh, let's find out. What's their outfield looking like? I mean, Nolan Jones, Max Kepler, Alonso. They got younger. They got younger at the very least. Did they absolutely need that trade? Maybe not. But they did get a nice centerpiece to kind of build around in the outfield. Coincidentally, not in center field. But, you know. All right, yeah, we still got to work on these guys. Oh, goodness. And then we got to consider blowing this shit up. All right, Steven Dixon. Just give you fair value. Doesn't want fair value. Fair enough. All right, 41 and 58. Not great. All right, Steven Dixon, 10th overall pick, has signed. And we still got to work on some of these other guys here. Doing well against Cleveland. Get the matches, yeah. God, Crash, it's so bad, isn't it? So bad, it's good. Imagine how awkward the dinners have to be for the AHL GM and traded his kid for nothing as well. Future considerations in the AHL. It's crazy. Oh, now we're going on a run. 5 wins in a row. We have been playing like garbage all season. And now we're going to start winning games? Come on, man. Of course, now we're going to start winning games. All right, Beckett Whiteley is signed. We have a bitch of a time trying to sign Jason Murphy. All right. Another day to sign picks. Henry Perez has signed. And we're down to the last 3. Let's get that guy on gold here. All right. Trade deadline is here. Let's take a look. Ethan Salas at catcher is improving. He's up to a 79. 7 home runs, 35 RBIs, 26 walks to 77 strikeouts, a 216 batting average. Technically, his OPS has gone up compared to last year. Defensively, has a 996. Again, if we trust in him to be the guy, then we know what the situation is. Chunky Harris is ready to go. A AAA All-Star. Chunky, oh my God. 90 contact against lefties for Chunky Harris. He's ready to go. He is ready to go. 21 home runs in AAA with an 857 OPS. Chunky is ready. Jose Miranda's playing decently too, but I mean, obviously we could keep Herrera and hope to play him at DH. His deal is up. 839 OPS. If we were to re-sign Ivan Herrera, 14 mil a year, honestly, that's not bad. That's really not bad. Well done, big boy. Well done. Okay. The term isn't bad. It's not. What would we get for him? And we would probably be looking for prospects. You know, like there is the idea of trying to like fill out the roster, but at this point, it's best to just kind of tank for the rest of the season and look to fill in the holes in the lineup in free agency. So if we were to deal Herrera, what are the offers? What would the offers be? I'll move over here. Baltimore offering Greg Welsh and David Norcross. Wow. So Welsh as a closer. Good velocity. That's not a bad player, man. And then what's Norcross look like? Norcross is just kind of a dude. He does have a potential, but outside of speed, nothing really stands out for him. He's just kind of a dude. But that is a very tempting offer from Baltimore. I gotta mark that down here. Oh, goodness. How blown up are we? You haven't missed anything yet. And, again, in regards to the ads, fucking, as any streamer will tell you, Twitch does its own damn thing. I try not to run that many ads here, but Twitch does what the hell it wants. I always have this channel set to never do pre-roll ads, and then some people are like, cool, I load it in, and there's immediately 8 ads, and it's like, oh, cool, it's not supposed to be doing that. So, apologies for that, but thank you for dealing with it. Rory Webb isn't very good. Teddy Richards, the other deal's better. Boston, not offering us a goddamn thing. Okay, that's a bit better. Joey Dodd, who is just a dude. The other deal is better. And Alex Garniga, yeah, the other deal is better. Yankees, not offering much. Henry Silva from the Rays. He is good. That Baltimore deal's still better. That Baltimore deal is still better. Blue Jays, James Phillips, but nothing else in the deal is up to snuff. White Sox with Jeff McCann, but the rest of it's not good enough. Guardians, Hamlin, Holiday. Other deal's better, just on paper. Tigers, Rene Baroa. I think we struck gold with that first deal. Mikey Nielsen. Not bad. Not a great fielder, but not bad. And then Esteban Geronimo. That's not a terrible deal from Minnesota. I do still like the other one, though. But again, this isn't even necessarily looking for, like, the deal to take. It's just getting an idea of what his market value is if we were to flip him. Louis Kershaw and Ruben Baez. Kershaw, he's already 20, and again, he's got nothing special going on. His contact against righties, it's not that bad, but he's just a dude. And Ruben Baez, nothing crazy either. Chris Pereira, problem is he's 21. Nothing overly special about him. Jesus Gonzalez. Nothing overly special about him either, but anytime you see two A potentials in the same deal, it's obviously tempting. I mean, it's already confirmed we can end up getting some decent options. Well, it's all good. I knew what you meant, for the record. It's all good. Nothing special about Jackson Mann. He has a good name, though. That Baltimore offer is the best offer of the bunch. $14 million deal. Or we keep Herrera in the mix. Or $14 million, we keep him in the mix. Or we move on for a pretty decent offer. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. Because again, Chunky's ready to go. Regardless, Jose Miranda gets dealt. Regardless, Jose gets dealt. Because Chunky's getting the call up. So let's go see what Jose Miranda's worth. And the veteran, we did technically sign him for 3 years. In fairness, it was accidental. But let's see what he's worth. If we get anything half decent for him. Yeah, Roy Webb. Red Sox. Joey Dodd, who again just kind of exists. Rod Morris, you are pretty bad. Ethan Sposato, you are pretty bad. Let's see, what else do we got here? Jerome Holiday is at least fast. And get another center fielder in there who might be able to turn into something. The reliever with him's pretty bad, though. But, all right, Cleveland's not too bad. Brent Gallo, we can turn you into a pitcher. Reliever Joaquim Diaz. That is currently winning from Kansas City. Wow. That's a really good deal for us. Kiki Mitchell. Ooh, Kiki Mitchell, though, man. Good fielder. Doesn't have much of an arm. That's a pretty good deal, too. That is a pretty good deal as well. Jerome Holiday, Matt's other son. There you go. All right, we got a pretty high standard now for these offers to live up to. Herb Marcello. He's okay. I think the other guy was better. Go back and check. Royals 22A and a 71. 23B and a 7. In fairness, Miami's not too bad either. We're getting some better offers for Jose Miranda than I expected. Chris Pereira, we know, isn't really anything special. Where is Neville Francis? I mean, Neville Francis has the contact going on for him. He is a catcher, though, and eventually he's just not going to have a spot. Same for Brandon Ramirez, who isn't that bad. Yeah, I mean, catcher is pretty well locked up already with Salas being there. Patrick Lintner, not good enough. Jackson Mann, we already looked at. So it was Kansas City with Joaquim Diaz. Miami with Herb Marcello, who is better now, but the other guy has a higher ceiling. Or the Angels with outfielder Kiki Mitchell. It was a big-time project, but has damn good fielding abilities already. Gotta be honest, I feel like the pitching issues are a little bit easier to solve. I think we take the project in this instance, although you could argue we're trying to get closer to contention. Maybe don't take as big of a project. How's Herb Marcello? He's pitching down in AAA. Do you need a closer? Not necessarily. This guy's got a ton of contract control. And then Diaz is kind of in the sweet spot. Not being close to ready, but not quite. How's he doing down in AA? Doing pretty well. Well, 6 blown saves. not too hot, but it is AA. Performs better when the team is behind. Well, you're certainly not going to be a closer then, are you? Certainly not. Jose Miranda, you're off to Kansas City. We're going to take that reliever. Okay. So presumably, again, Herrera, still don't know if he's staying or going. But Chunky Harris is going to be up to the Major League roster here. Second base, Luis Garcia. 9 home runs, 37 RBI, 703 OPS. Not the hottest in the field. If I can get something for him, I probably should. I don't think he's the guy. I don't necessarily want to flip him before the last year of his deal, though, just because I don't like signing people to contracts and just dealing them quickly. So we'll probably keep him at least for the rest of the year. Brett's got an extra year as well. We'll suffer with him for now. Mason Wynn is the other big one. He's regressing. How are you regressing? You're 26. 7 home runs, 42 RBIs. Again, he's just... It's not like he's dreadful at the plate, but... I mean, he does have a 305 on base. Defensively, though, he hasn't been as good in the field as he needs to be to make up for the lack of heavy-hitting offense. How much money does Mason Wynn want? $16 million a year. Oh, shit. I, too, was regressing at 26. We got to at least see what we can get for him. Like, that's not too bad of a deal, but it's like, is he the shortstop on a World Series winning team? I don't think so. I might be wrong. I don't think he is. Let's see. So there's another deal involving Welsh. So if we took a different deal for Herrera, we could still get Greg Welsh from Baltimore. So that's worth noting. Red Sox offering a bit of a haul. Steve Bronk. What a great name. Joey Dodd, who again just kind of exists. And Alex Graniga, who also just kind of exists. But that is a solid trio of prospects. That's not too bad. Nobody insane, though. Ronald Brubaker from the Yankees. 31 velocity. With a sinker, changeup, curveball, and a slider. Also open up Clemente Vina and Rod Morris, Miguel Velasquez. Like, obviously, Brubaker is interesting, but he is 25. Ray is not offering up anybody too crazy. James Phillips from the Blue Jays. Not a bad fielder, decent speed. Let's see. Not too interested with those two guys from the White Sox. Jason Hooper. A promising closer. Jason Hooper. Abdul Hamlin, Jerome Holiday again. Through this kind of quickly now. Mikey Nielsen at shortstop. He's not a very good fielder. Good contact, but the guy's just not going to be able to be relied upon defensively at one of those rather important positions. Chauncey Kincaid. Problem is he's 23 already. Does have good velocity, but Chris Gilbert. Just waiting to see if there's that one, like, undeniable prospect where it's like, we absolutely have to trade Mason Wynn for this guy. What about Daniel Gonzalez? He's not bad. I mean, 22 and a 74. Carlos Chavez, not quite as good as I was hoping. Louis Kershaw. Again, the problem is he's 20. That's offering up Leonardo Calderon. Cynical, what's going on? Unfortunately, we're looking to sell at the deadline here, as the team has pretty drastically underperformed this year. Eddie Hansen and Tim Rich. Dante Reyes? Okay. Well, what we're seeing here, clearly, is that there are deals involved for us to get a decent return for Mason Wynn. Right? If I look at MLB Ready. Alex Pham, Drew Mealis. Apparently could get Colton Cowser, which, I mean, his deal's up at the end of the year too, so yeah, he's not playing very well. Dude named Ben Rice, who is 30. 34-year-old Jose Barrios. No, thank you. Yeah, from a prospect perspective, we can do okay. In terms of a, like, The Mets are offering Juan Soto and Edwin Diaz for Mason Wynn.